Hello, this is Joan Fernley, your French and Latin diction coach for choirs. And in this video, I will read Les fleurs et les arbres by Camille Saint-Saëns. This song is the second in a set of 2 songs. The first song is Calme des Nuits, and the tutorial for that song is linked below along with all my sources and links and any corrections or additional information that might come up after I've posted the video. So do be sure to have a look. Also, I'm going to assume that most of you performing this song are also performing Calme des Nuits as a set. And so to avoid needless repetition, if you're doing both, consider my Calme des Nuits video as the main tutorial where I provide more context in the introduction and also more extensive coaching. Please take a moment to like, share, subscribe, and comment below. And now let's jump into the tutorial. Les fleurs et les arbres, les bronzes, les marbres, les ors, les émaux, la mer, les fontaines, les monts et les plaines, consolent nos maux. Nature éternelle, tu sembles plus belle au sein des douleurs. Et l'art nous domine, sa flamme illumine le rire et les pleurs. We start with les fleurs, and I covered that sound in Calme des Nuits. And the trick is simply to think of the word father with a British accent. Father. Les fleurs et les arbres, les bronzes, les marbres. Here, arbre and marbre are virtually identical and both have that bright forward sound we have in French. And for me, the hardest part of this line is not tripping over all the rolled R's. Arbre, marbre. And then we have les bronzes, which has the nasal on sound. And make sure it's nice, it starts with a nice round O. Bronze. Then we have les ors, les émaux. And this is a great contrast between the open O and the closed O. So or has an open O and émaux has a closed O. Les ors, les émaux. In the next 2 lines, we have lots of sounds. Mer, lait, fontaine, plaine. And then we have the nasal on sound in each of the 3 lines. Fontaine, mont, console. Also in the last line, we have both the open and closed O again. We have the open O in console and the closed O in no and mo. So put it all together and you have la mer, les fontaines, les monts et les plaines, consolent nos maux. The 2 first lines of this group will test your U. There's nature, tu, and plus. Please check out the Calme des Nuits video for a detailed coaching. You get the U by rounding around I. I, U. Nature, tu, and plus. These lines are also dominated by the E family. The word éternel begins with E, then you get 2 sounds in the middle, and the final sound at the end. Put it together and you have éternel, éternel, and that rhymes with belle. And finally, semble is a straightforward sound, a nasal en. Next, we have au sein des douleurs. The first challenge is making sure the nasalized sound isn't too harsh or squished, which is one of my bad habits. I will speak and so I have to be careful to really open up the sound, adding a bit of in there and say sa. And the second challenge is making sure you have a very round sound in douleur. So you have to work at it, otherwise it could fall into douleur. So it's douleur. And douleur rhymes with fleur. Now again, the A sound in French is that high, bright A sound, which applies here to ça and flamme. But there is still an A sound, in which we have here in ar, and that's the darker A sound. And of course the R is flipped, but the T is silent. And it's worth noting that ar is very close to the word or, which we saw earlier in the poem. And the open O sound is quite close to the darker A sound, but those two sounds are different. So we have or and ar. Then nous is very simple. It's the ou we spoke about in douleur. Then we have domine and illumine, which are very similar, but be sure to have a pure vertical E sound at the end of each word. Mine. So if it goes a little flat, you might end up saying illumine. It sounds mean. So you want to make sure it's illumine. And finally, le rire et les pleurs. Not much new here. Pleurs rhymes with douleur and all the other sounds you've seen already. Le rire et les pleurs. Well, there you have it, Les fleurs et les arbres by Camille Saint-Saëns. Thank you so much for watching. Like, share, subscribe, comment below, and I will see you in the next video.